Why do you think providers aren't adopting this more rapidly? And I don't believe, and I've spoken to several physicians, it's not that they're against it whatsoever. I think some of them will readily admit that I don't necessarily know what to do. There's not guidelines on how to do this, but for certain, you know, therapies, there certainly are guidelines. But what is it in the workflow or the attitudes of clinicians? Why aren't they adopting this information more rapidly?
It's a great question. So, reimbursement was one barrier, and that is thankfully starting to go away with the Medicare coverage and Medicaid and commercial flowing across. The other big thing is education. Most providers got little to no genetics education, certainly no pharmacogenetics education when they were going to school. I have been working to advocate for the Right Drug Dose Now Act. Swalwell and Crenshaw should reintroduce that this year to Congress. This is a federal act that would mandate education for all healthcare providers, pharmacists, physicians, nurses, PAs, primary care specialists, to educate them on pharmacogenomics and how pharmacogenomics is a tool to reduce adverse drug events. It would also help improve our reporting and tracking system for adverse drug events. On the back end, the FDA adverse event reporting system hasn't been updated since we used cassette tapes as our main way we listened to music. So that's awesome. But a
That's
very big piece there. It also looks at clinical decision support. We need to
mm,
hit the easy button. Everybody knows there's doctor burnout. They're good people. They want to do the right thing. Most people went into healthcare because they want to help their patients, but there's so much they need to keep track of. There's more publications coming out, every day. It's impossible to do it no matter how smart and dedicated you are. And that's where clinical decision support comes in. Part of this Right Drug Dose Now Act says, hey, just like we flag for other things in the EHR or pharmacy, we would say, hey, are you about to give Rome Plavix? You need to order a pharmacogenetic test because without that, you don't know it's not working for him at all. And we don't want him to have another heart attack or stroke. So you can just pop right that up in the EHR or pharmacy software system. And then just like allergies or drug-drug interactions are flagged, once you have that genetic information, you can say, hey, this patient was tested 2 years ago. Don't give a standard dose of citalopram to our friend Rome. That's way too much for him. In fact, we recommend giving him a different antidepressant altogether.
that's
And
good
so
information.
automating that process is part of the Right Drug Dose Now Act. And we're also seeing a lot more health systems investing in that infrastructure to do the
Yeah.
right thing for their patients.
I think that's the tipping point that we need. And we talk about how AI solutions are rapidly coming into, our world in every aspect, but specifically healthcare. Some are a little hesitant. I admit I was kind of one of those. Is like, hold on, right? But if we bit by bit get pieces of AI out there for good use cases like this, remember, Kristine just mentioned that this is a once in a lifetime test. You take it, you will know how you metabolize different drugs as more information comes out about drugs and how they're metabolized. They get added to necessary these guidelines, and you will know. And in your my chart, in your physician or your healthcare system's EHR, if you can imagine the importance of having a conversation with any of your healthcare providers to make sure that's in your record, so no matter where you go, you can have this information when there are clinicians prescribing new medications. You can have this conversation with the pharmacists who, as busy as they are, um, if you know your PGX status on certain gene mutations, you can tell them and they can consult with you a little bit more accurately on what you might benefit from or might be harmful for you.
Mm. And I will plug if you go to fourthcause.org/right act, there is more information about the Right Drug Dose Now Act. And please encourage your congressional representatives to co sponsor that act. It's going to take additional education and technology investments to make medication management safer for everyone. Advocate for yourself. I'm happy to provide a list of the high evidence drug gene interactions by specialty. I'm on LinkedIn, reach out. You can also find me through the UScript website. But these are important conversations. This is one thing a lot of people don't know about. They're like, why would they guess if they could know from the beginning I needed a different drug or half a dose? This is especially important, for antidepressants. People are often given a drug and what do they, come back 6 to 8 weeks, see how you're feeling. We'll maybe adjust your dose. Pharmacogenomics is not a silver bullet that is going to be like, this is the exact drug and dose you need, and it'll 100% work from the gate. But what it helps us do is refine that to reduce the number of options available to those that are most likely to work. So why have, 50,000 choices when we know only five are likely to work for you?